You know what I'm very tempted to do, which is going to be a pain in the arse, is just fucking take the exhaust off. But it's too fucking heavy. Oh, good morning, guys.
Sean's just looking at my handiwork.
I ain't getting this out and putting gasket sealant in it.
Oh no, that's. I just put it somewhat in the right location.
Yeah. Because there's two of us, are you happy to drop it down?
I got it up there on my own, so you can manage to drop it down on your own. Nothing's tightened up properly, it's all by hand. Would you like some gloves?
No, pull the ledge out.
Still attached.
Yeah, pop that brick there. Fuel filler neck hoses on is going to be fun. I didn't actually realise how little space there was here next to the tank to work with.
Yeah, there's not much.
Yeah, there's next to none.
And them screws will hold it, I know that, because it took up to get the fuckers.
Yeah, but when it is on the road, I'll get it somewhere and we can get it welded. Just so we don't have to rely on a couple of screws. Agreed?
Yeah.
Sketchiest way of possibly doing this.
It's not much to see, guys. We'll be back with you when the sun. A break from the fuel tank, because his hands are cold. Whip. We're just trying to get this stud out now. It doesn't show any signs of wanting to move anytime soon. We have got an extraction kit, but the extraction kit doesn't seem to want to work on it. So we're just trying to actually drill it out completely. Breaking news! He's got a hole! I've got one too here.
That's going to be a fucking cracking thumbnail, isn't it?
He's using a smaller drill because it was too big. I bet he's not had that complaint. Family show and everything.
This isn't even drilling.
Well, extract it then.
No, it's not even making a hole.
So after a small trip to Netflix, to screw fix, and Sean spending £12 odd later.
£12,
£24 later. The stud's still in the bus.
So guys, just a little update. Stud still isn't out. Jordan's currently underneath, fitting the tank, and it seems to be going splendidly, somewhat. He's just
get the bolt back.
You can't find all, ladies and gentlemen. Need a hand?
No, I should be alright. Actually, it might be actually. Oh no, it did come off clean up.
You think it snapped?
Yeah, but it hasn't.
No.
It's just the Jubilee clip on it, that old.
Guys, what I've had to do is these have got a little chamfer on them. I've had to drill that chamfer out so it now looks like that, but the bolt still won't come out because there's that little showing on either side. It will not budge at all.
It's moved a bit though.
I'll drill bit. Yeah, because I've had it twist. That's what I mean, I had it move with that drill bit. But if I drill it out anymore, then that hole's going to be too big.
It's going to have to go from that side, and we're just going to have to use a bit of gasket to help it. It's got to be from that side.
Pulling it out or pushing it through, because that will push straight through now. But I can't get a grip on it because that extraction bit snapped in it this morning. I've tried everything.
There's been a mishap. Those observant of you will notice the lake that's cascading away from the bus. David Attenborough would call it a piece of natural beauty. We call it spent money. What happened was we were supporting the tank to help with the weight of the fuel that we were putting in it, because the tank, it is in there but it's not brilliantly in. So we're trying to put a bit of extra support in. It's mainly just so we can make sure it runs and everything. But what happened was the filler neck came off and the fuel was above the filler neck. So it all came out. But we've saved what we can. There's still half a tankish, quarter of a tank, half a tank of diesel in there. So it's not the end of the world. We're going to let the ground dry out a bit and then we'll be able to put the pipe back on. Now it's lubricated with diesel. Hopefully we'll get it a bit further in, tighten it on properly, and then that should help the cause. But there is an upside. Now we have fuel in the tank, we can confirm the gauge works. It's a bit, there's a bit more in it than what the gauge says, I reckon, judging by how the float works that's in the tank. But yeah, so how are you doing on your stud? He's give up.
Yeah, ain't coming out.
I lost the camera, but it was in my pocket.
It was in your pocket?
It was in my pocket. So after Sean's load of struggling, I went in there and it came straight out.
Always the way.
So new stud can go in now, and then we can look at mounting the pump back on while we wait for this small river of excellence to drain. It's a good job it's only going into mud. Do not write in the comments about the pollution, because we don't care. Pump drive shaft locked for timing after fitting, release locking bolt and refit spacer. No, basically what it's saying is that shaft is locked for the timing.
Well, you should have timed it.
So it is timed. So when we put the thing on,
I can put a stud in, or I can just put a bolt straight through that into the engine.
is the stud going in?
Yes, but if I put it in that way, then that protrudes too much. If I go through that, then there's only that tiny bit in the engine. Whereas if we put a bolt through it, we're going to be able to put a bolt through that fucking much, in essence.
It has to be the long side.
Yeah.
So the short side goes in the engine. So the
But
others will
it's
be the
only going to
same.
give us that much in the block then.
The others must be the same.
They're not. Because this isn't ordered for this bus, it is just a stud.
Well, put a bolt on it then. Have we got one?
Almost.
Slippy there, Sean.
It's that fucking diesel.
I know. So guys, after the mishap with the fuel, which is still drying out, we have a pump that's in position. One nut is tight.
Ish.
Apparently ish. This one is missing because we can't get one in it, and this one down at the bottom I think is the next one that's going to get done up.
That's tight.
Told you so.
Oh.
So next one is the most difficult one, which is down at the bottom here. Because normally on these engines you don't have a compressor. But there's a compressor on this one, so... Is it in yet? Does it run yet?
Dropped a note. Jordan! Fuck you, face.
Where's the nut?
I just did it.
No, it doesn't.
I went over to the left hand side.
I've found that one! I know, guys, there's not much you can see. It's quite,
Not much I can see either.
we're in the same boat.
Right. Where is that stud? That stud is there.
Dinner break, I've had my chips. Sean's having diesel salt chips. And look who's come to join us. So we already had JD Wade here, but look. Baby Imogen's come. And Natalie. Natalie brought us the food. It was well needed. I think Sean was losing the rag with it.
Jordan.
Well needed, she saved Sean the scrap.
What's he fixed?
Keep your chips warm on the exhaust manifold.
Oh, it's a shame it's not running. Put him in there for 10 minutes.
We'll update you shortly on where we're up to, but the fuel pump is... It's it's attached to the bus with nuts. She won't admit it.
What?
She won't admit it, she'll just nod.
You just nodded, yeah?
Look at the wombats trying to repair a bus. Absolutely clueless they are. They cannot figure out what's going on.
A big child will never grow up. Wow.
That's about it.
In the bin.
Where's that fucking bees over there?
And they still haven't figured out how to do the tying.
Well guys, I think we're going to leave it there. We're a bit peed.
Fit.
One of the parts we believe is down in Suffolk, which isn't going to help, so we're going to have to wait for that to turn up. But the take it outside, the biggest problem we're facing is, if I don't fall and break my neck, is this cog. Now, the workshop manual we've got, the note down here is it's time to position this note here. That note's meant to be over here, which we can move it, that's not a problem. But that means that the B on here is also meant to be down here, and it's not. And the only thing the guy that we got the pump off, he has been quite helpful, but as far as he can gather, it means the engine's not timed correctly, which is going to be opening up a whole new can of worms. So we're waiting back to hear some advice on what have you, but not much we can do, so we're going to have a tidy up. He's just putting a piece on the pump back on. We had to take off to get it in, and we're just going to take it from there. There's very little now we can do, because we're at a stage where we just don't know now, and rather than mess with it and make it worse, I'd rather not. But from what the guy is saying, it sounds like the engine is not timed up correctly, which is a bit of a shock considering it does actually run. So was the whole thing out of timing? Wrong piston starting the fire, wrong firing order? Was it the right firing order, but they'd set the wrong one as the lead firing? We don't know. But without this nut and washer here, there's no way this bus is running today. We've got the pipe back on that came off, it's under there. That's back on. It's not on brilliantly, but it is on, so it's holding its fuel for now. The tank still needs mounting properly. We haven't got anywhere with that. We've been messing about with trying to do this pump, and we got here at 10 o'clock this morning, and it's now 20 to 4, something like that.
10 to 4.
10 to 4. It's worse than what I said. It's 10 to 4, and we're not really that much further along, apart from the fuel tank now has fuel in it.
And the fuel pump's mounted to the bus.
The fuel pump is mounted to the bus, but that's it. That's all we've got. So, tidy up, put all the tools where they're supposed to go, and wait for the advice to come back. We might actually need to find someone that's a mechanic of some description to actually come and help sort this out, because something is not right here. Something is not right. But what? We don't know. Just an idea. Do you reckon they might have put that cog in upside down when they put it in?
Which cog?
The time one.
No.
Oh no, it won't matter, will it?
No, because they've both got things on them.
Both got keyed, haven't they?
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you like the channel, please do consider becoming a member. Links are down below. It all helps, every little bit helps, and we'll try and bring you more footage and director's cuts, early access and all that for being a member. As I say, there's not much more we can do here. All that's left for you to do is press the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and make sure you press the bell as well, it all counts. So, yeah. See you later. Bye for now.
Oh, here you are, face to face.
So we just had a revelation, guys. Just add on to the end of this. This engine is not the original engine, or at least it's not in its original config from the day it left the factory. In 2005, I believe it was, on the build plate, it got rebuilt. Now, what we're wondering is, in the rebuild, did something change? Because that pump off the guy should be timed up for the 6BT engine. But have they messed up when they rebuilt it in 2005? Is that why it ran a bit lumpy? Is that why it was a bit down on power? We don't know.
Fucking hell.
We've reread this manufacturing plate here, and it's got some very important information on it, as we find out. Injection timing code E. Now, on the workshop manual, it was B. Now, if we actually look at E, E is there. So we need to spin the engine to the knot is with the E, and then we should be in the injection timing code. We hope. Thank God for this plate, eh?
I've just sent them a fucking bunch of the messages.
So we think we've got it, guys. We've now got that at naught and that at E, which looks right. Is that actually in the pin properly though? Is that in the keyway properly?
Yeah. It's just not. It's not knocked on properly.
So we think now this engine is in its timed position, ready to fire. This is now where you're going to have to turn it again a little bit. It's down a bit, isn't it? Where is that in its key? I can't see.
I just think that collar's too thin for this cog.
No, it was on there hard, remember.
No, it shouldn't be right. The other thing as well, That's got to be right. The way that just goes straight on there.
Yeah, but that's now on C.
Alright.
I think it was in the wrong position.
That doesn't go on there. Goes for E. See, that slot's on E. You said it's slotted on C as well. That slot's on C.
That's not in the pin.
No.
That's Y. That's off pin. That's in the pin, because that's slotted back further.
Yeah, right. It is meant to slot back further than that, I'm pretty sure. But obviously we don't have the nut to tighten it up.
No.
It's meant to go to 15 newton meters, and then it gets tightened up even more because that isn't slotted in properly.
Yeah. But that is on the key.
That is on the key.
Bingo! Right, so we just need to wait for the bits from Suffolk to turn up. And then we should be in luck. Next week, we'll focus on getting this tank in a more permanent.
Oh, here you are, face to face in this trashy bar. Another glass and I am going places. Makes me laugh about the irony of everything. I like the way you're thinking.